ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin. Oríṣiríṣi orin. Òun olórin gangan máa sọ fún. A song that gets stuck in your head repeatedly is called an earthworm. Listen to 5 to 10 songs. A day can improve memory, strengthen the immune system, and reduce depression by 80%. Our capacity increase when we are listening to music. Now I wanna share. Now I wanna share about music. About music. Ó ní ó ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin wá gbọ́ ohun tá a fi ń dórin mọ́ àti ohun tá a fi máa kọrin. Ó ní ó ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin wá gbọ́ ohun tá a fi ń dórin mọ́ àti ohun tá a fi máa kọrin. Ó ní ó ti ń jorin gangan. Ó ní ó ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin. Ó ní ohun tá a fi ń dórin mọ́ àti ohun tá a fi máa kọrin. Ó ní ó ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin wá gbọ́ ohun tá a fi ń dórin mọ́ àti ohun tá a fi máa kọrin. Ṣorí ti ń jorin gangan ìmísí Ọlọ́run ló jẹ́. Ṣorí ti ń jorin gangan ìmísí Ọlọ́run ló jẹ́. Àwọn tàfihàn náà lórin wọ́n gbà wá yí orin ni. Kọ́míkọ́mí lórin ò máa ṣàwọn tó jẹ́ akọrin. Àwọn oníye ṣàgbàjà àwọn tó jó pé orin. Bí wọ́n bá fẹ́ máa kọrin àtàwọn tó jó pé orin. Ṣáàkan máa ṣọ orin orin kò ní jọra wọn. Ṣorí ti jorin gangan nínú ẹ̀ ló ti rọgbọ́n. Oníròhùn mu nínú orin àwọn alágbàjá. Wá gbọ́ ohun tá a fi ń dórin mọ́ àti tá a fi máa kọrin. Wọ́n ní ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó bá yé o. Nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin.
Success doesn't have to mean getting the corner office. It isn't always climbing the corporate ladder.
I just got my first sale.
We got a date.
It isn't reserved for the chosen few.
This is my first sale and I'm gonna get paid.
So follow your passion. Get that idea off the ground. Start your own business. Do it for you, for what success means to you. Do it with the help of Shopify.
Orin pín sáwọn ọ̀nà. Orin pín sáwọn ọ̀nà oríṣiríṣi wá gbọ́. Ẹni tó jẹ́ akọrin tó tún jẹ́ akọrin tó wọ́n ti fún tẹ̀dọ̀rin. Tẹ bá bí ló lè sọ tán kò ní kù síbi kankan. Ẹni tó ń pè lákọrin tẹ bá ní kó ṣe mọ́dì o. Orin ìyìn yóò ṣe yóò dùn. Wá sí fún wa òrìṣà o. Orin tàbí ṣe dárò. Ó máa kọ́ sáyé bá ti gbọ́ òun fi pákọrin ni. Àwọn tó kọ́ ní talent wọ́n pọ̀ nínú ẹ̀dá gan. Àmọ́ tòun tí bọ́n ṣe pọ̀ á fún wọn jura wọn lọ. Ayélémi lọ bí tébù òde. Ayélémi lọ bí tébù nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin. Ó ní ti ń jorin gangan máa sọ fún ẹ tí ó bá yé ó ṣe máa fi ràn olórin nínú ogúnlọ́gọ̀ akọrin. Wọ́n gbọ́ ká fi jorin mọ́ àti ká fi máa kọrin. Ayé ló pè mí lórúkọ kan o. Ayé ló pè mí lórúkọ kan o. Ayélémi nìyàn bí tébù. Ṣé mo kájú ẹ ni mo fi. Wọ́n fa ọ̀n mi kọ. Wọ́n fa ọ̀n mi pè. Òde àmì náà láti fi hàn. Báyé bá pè ní lórúkọ kan ká tó lè máa jẹ o. Ó yẹ ká wo pé ṣó bá ní mọ̀ àbí ṣé àtúnjẹ o. Ẹni táyé sọ ní akin tó lójó kò bá mọ̀. Ọ̀nbí tébù ni mi ò dé mo kájú ẹ̀ dáadáa o. Ìgbéraga kan tọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yìn kọ gbogbo ayé kan fáàmù ẹ̀. Orin wo ló ń bẹ̀ ta ò lè kọ nísẹ̀yìn lẹ máa mọ̀. Ó bá paláwo kọ jùjù títí lórí highlife. Ó tún kọ dàdà kọ àdà wọ́n sì tún kọ fújì. Wọ́n kọ dàdà kọ àdà òde wọ́n kọ fújì o. Ó kọ ṣẹ́wẹ́lẹ́ 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 o. Kíkọ́kọ́ yóò ń padà sápàlà ó yá. Bí ọba ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́ o. Ó ṣòwàwù yóò máa ṣọ́wàwù. Bí ọba ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́ o. Ó ṣòwàwù yóò máa yóò máa ṣọ́ àwò. Ti fẹ́ mọ̀. Bí ó bá ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́ o. Kóṣù àwò yóò máa ṣọ́ àwò. Bí ó bá ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́. Kóṣù àwò yóò máa ṣọ́ àwò. Kì í jẹ́ kó mọ wá wù bẹ́yàn ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀. Mo ti fẹ́ mọ̀. Bí ó bá ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́. Kóṣù àwò yóò máa ṣọ́ àwò. Bí ó bá ti fẹ́ tó kì í jẹ́. Kì í jẹ́ rárá o. Yóò máa ṣọ́ wa wò. Ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀. Mo tó gbá.
Success doesn't have to mean getting the corner office.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله عمدا موافعا لنعمه ومكافئا لمزيده الحمد لله الذي أنعم علينا وهدانا إلى الإسلام الحمد لله على كل حال. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for preserving our lives from last month up till this moment. We glorify His holy name. We appreciate Him. May Allah continue to make it easy for every one of us. Allahumma ameen. To our mothers, sisters, brothers in Islam all over the world, we say Ramadan Kareem to every one of us. May Allah accept all our acts of worship. Remember, this is a month of kindness, month of charity, and charity begins at home. It is not worth it for you to distribute things to the whole of the street when your own family members are suffering. So make sure everybody around you, far and near, families are well looked after. Start your sadaqah with them, and then you can extend it to the other people far and near. May Allah accept all our acts of worship. Allahumma ameen. Now, so I'm just gonna quickly introduce our moderator for today and over inshallah. But before I do that, I like to welcome our special mother, Mrs. Marcelina Adesida. So happy and feels glad to have you around all the time, my big boss. Yeah, so I was too shy to ring because the notice will be like, but so grateful to have you around. Yeah, thank you so much for always. Right, so as usual, our moderator, inshallah, is no one but our beautiful Hajia Shakira, and may Allah accept it from you and every one of us as an act of ibadah. Allahumma ameen. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum ameen. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our monthly Sisters Forum today. I'd like to start off by saying a small dua. Well, since the occasion is the beginning of a new month of Ramadan. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa atba'ihi wassalim. Amen. Today we are having our topic, which is the profession of women and home front balance both in Ramadan and beyond. So how women can balance their home professionally, both in Ramadan and beyond. So without much, not wasting our time, we'll go straight on to the first start of the program, and that is our opening prayer by Sayyidah Aisha Muhammad Awal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Wala 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 quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. May Allah accept all your fasts as acts of ibadah. May He bless us, forgive us, keep us, protect us in all our days. May He shine His light upon us and be gracious to us. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun mursalin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Jazakallah khairan for that, sister. And the next part of our program is the Qiratul Quran by Hajia Noura Hassan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That's 2 games and in between the Liverpool games as well. So I think initially it's a tough run for Man City, but I think after that in the league, especially, the top players are kind of on the fixtures, but these players are so used to dealing with that.
Assalamu alaikum. Is Sister Noura about?
Yeah, she's struggling to get on. Yeah, the network is throwing her out and in. Yeah, so she just called on the phone now. So maybe we come back to, I don't know. She's seriously trying to join, but I don't know what we do.
Okay, so the third item on our program is Musibah al-Ashara by Alaja Ganiyat Olateju. I think she should be on.
Yeah, so Musabiat Hashara.
Musabiat Hashara. Is she ready? Okay. Okay.
Respond to what the manager's asking between now and then to get really get saved up. But there's still plenty of players that are quite confident within inside it. So frankly, certainly spectacular in terms of people.
I'm very sorry. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Alaja Olateju.
Okay. Okay. I'll start now. Can you click on the share?
But first, do we have Ajia Nurat? Is Ajia Nurat back? Ajia Nurat Omolara, use the hand raise button in case you are not using your name so that we can make you co-host. Then if not, we move to our Musabia, inshallah.
Yes, please.
Okay, I think Alaja Lateef is ready for the Musabiat.
Can I go on now, please?
Yes, please. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to be off camera for like 2 minutes because I have an emergency to quickly drive. So when I get back, I'll switch the camera back on. I'm so sorry, please. But I'll continue now. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني نويت أن أتقرب إليك بتلاوتي بسابعة العشر بنية تبدأ لله تعالى وبنية تسوني وبنية تستهي جميع مولاها من الكواسي والكرامات والخيرات والبركات والفتوات في الدنيا والآخرة إنك على كل شيء قدير. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس مالك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم عدد ما علم وملء ما علم وزن ما علم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد عبدك ونبيك ورسولك نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء والأموات اللهم افعل بي وبهم عاجلا وآجلا في ديني ودنيا والآخرة ما أنت له أهل ولا تفعل بنا وبهم يا مولانا ما نحن له أهل إنك غفور حليم جواد كريم رؤوف رحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد نبي عدد ما صل عليه من خلقك وصل على سيدنا محمد نبي كما ينبغي لنا أن نصلي عليه وصل على سيدنا محمد نبي كما أمرتنا أن نصلي عليه اللهم مغفرتك أوسع من ذنوبي ورحمتك أرجى من عملي لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له لا إله إلا الله له الملك وله الحمد La ilaha illallah, wala hawla, wala quwwata illa billahil azim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa nal jannata hakum, wa nara hakum. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wala ilaha illallah, wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. I'm sorry. Miliamo halimo, wa adadamo halimo, wazinotamo halimo.
You can continue, sister.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I had to switch off my phone. I'm sorry. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadi abdika wa nabiyika wa rasulika nabiyil ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Allahumma ighfirli wali walidayya walil mu'minina wal mu'minati wal muslimina wal muslimati al ahya'i minhum wal amwat. Allahumma if'alu bi wa bihim ajilan wa ajilan fi dini wa dunya wal akhirati mu anta lahu alu wa la taf'alu bina wa bihim ya maulana mananu lahu alun innaka ghafurun alimun jawadun karimun raufur rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad Nabi adada ma salli alayhi min kalikika وصلي على سيدنا محمد نبي كما ينبغي لنا أن نصلي عليه وصلي على سيدنا محمد نبي كما أمرتنا أن نصلي عليه. اللهم مغفرتك أوسع من ذنوبي ورحمتك أرجى من عملي. لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. لا إله إلا الله له الملك وله الحمد. La ilaha illallah wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahil azim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu wa anna Isa alayhi salam abdullahi wa rasuluhu wa ibnu amati wa kalimatu wa alqaha ila Maryam wa ruhun wa nal jannata hakun wa nara hakun. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wala ilaha illallah wallahu akbar wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Miliamo halimo wa adadamo halimo wazinotamo halimo. La ilaha illallah ya dafiu ya moni ya hafizu ya hakim. Subhanaka Allahumma ya mani azara li jamila wa satara li qabiha wa lam yakhiz bi jarrati wa lam yatika sitra wa ya azim al afwi wa ya sana tajawuzi wa ya wasi al maghfirati wa ya bastal yadaini birama wa ya samia kulli najwa wa ya muntaha kulli shakwa wa ya karim asafi wa ya azim al mani wa ya mukila li asirati ويا متدي بنيامي قبل استقاقي يا ربي ويا سيدي ويا مولاي ويا غاية رغبتي أسألك أن لا تشوي كلكة ببلاء الدنيا ولا بأسياب النار. اللهم إني أسألك خير المسألة وخير الدعاء وخير النجاح وخير الأعمال وخير الثواب وخير الحياة وخير الممات وتثبتني وتقلي موازيني وحقق إيماني ورفع درجاتي وتقبل صلاتي واغفر لي خطيئتي وأسألك درجات الأولى من الجنة آمين. اللهم إني أسألك فواتح الخير وخواتمه وجوامعه وأوله وآخره وظاهره وباطنه وأسألك درجات الأولى من الجنة آمين.
اللهم إني أسألك خير ما آتي وخير ما أفعل وخير ما آمل وخير ما أبطل وخير ما أزيد وأسألك درجات الأولى من الجنة آمين اللهم إني أسألك أن ترفع ذكري وتداوي وزري وتسلي أمري وتطهر قلبي وتحسن فرجي وتنور قلبي وتغفر لي ذنبي وأسألك درجات الأولى من الجنة آمين اللهم إني أسألك أن تبارك لي Olúwa في سمعي وفي بصري وفي روحي وفي كلكي وفي خلقي وفي آلي وفي موياي وفي عملي وتقبل حسناتي وأسألك درجات الأولى من الجنة آمين اللهم بنورك اهتديت وبفضلك استعنت وبك أصبحت وأمسيت ذنوبي كثيرة بين يديك أستغفرك اللهم وأتوب إليك يا حنان يا منان وأسألك الأمن والأمانة من زوال المن والعفو عمن مضى وكان برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا رباه يا رباه يا رباه يا جبار 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 اللهم إني أعوذ بك من شر الفضيعتين وظلمة العينين وهموم الفقر والدين بحرمة جاد الحسين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم حقنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والكاتب لما سبق الناس الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله قدر ومقدار لازم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin. Jazakallah khair. May Allah accept it as an act of ibadah.
Amen.
Thank you. Amin, sister. We're moving on to the lecture by Alhaja Hadiza Jibril. And the lecture, the topic for today is the professional woman and the home front, balancing both in Ramadan and beyond. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to Ajia Hadiza Jibril.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think we're having a network issue here with Ajia.
It's looking like a general problem from a couple of our people.
Yeah, I think everyone's having a network issue today. We just give her a few minutes and see if she's able to come on board.
Inshallah. Is Haji Anura back? Haji Anurat Hassan. Haji Anura
I don't
Hassan.
think she's on board with us yet. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think we can't hear you. You're muted, sister. You're still muted.
Okay, so sorry. I'm so sorry. My internet was disconnected. So sorry about that. So I had to join with my phone. So let's get to it. Let me just, sorry, I will just be off video for a while. Let me settle everything. So the professional woman and the home front, balancing both in Ramadan and beyond. A lot of women find it difficult. Sorry for the noise in the background. I have work going on in the house, so I'm so sorry for that. So a lot of women find it difficult striking a balance between the home front and the home front and the work environment. Over the years, some women find it very frustrating. At times, due to the pressure at work and pressure in the home front, they tend to drop out or quit their job because they find it difficult balancing both the home front and the working environment. But other women still persist, and all it takes is one to be focused, to know what she wants to achieve. And the most vital part of it all is having a supporting spouse to help you forge ahead this your goals and achievements. So balancing it, like for some women, they start early enough to their work career path in order to place them in higher level as they do. And however, some women don't. Like for me, for an example, I started late. I started when I had my children, and my children were quite grown before I started. I started early, not early per se. I started when my kids started working when my kids were a bit grown that they could fend for themselves. But however, there are ways we can balance the home front and our working environment. The most crucial of it all and most important of it all is time management. I'm also guilty of that. Managing our time very well. Managing our time. When I say time management, what do I mean by time management? Time management is the ability for us to be able to achieve our goals and our aims and goals seamlessly with less stress. How do we manage this our time? Like for me, the method I use is, okay, waking up very early. For those that have small kids to cater for, you have to cater for the children first. And also the husband, because before your kids, your husband was there. So how do you do it? How do you manage? How do you balance this situation? It's well, at times, for those that can afford help, if you are lucky enough, help will help assist and help in reducing less stress at home. But for me, as a working mother, I'm a lawyer. At times I need to go to court. And going to court, I stay in Lagos. The working environment in Lagos and the traffic situation, if I have to be in court, let's say I have to be in court in Ikeja, I stay in Naija. The traffic, everybody knows Aja's situation. Aja's traffic situation is another thing on its own. So for me, I get up very early. The first thing I do, I prepare a night before. I lay out what I'm going to do at the home before I leave the house, because I will have to leave the house to get to court in good course and settle down for the day. I have to leave my house for, let's say, 5 o'clock. And leaving the house for 5 o'clock, that means I have to get up from bed early enough before the Fajr prayer. So before Fajr time, I am able to lay down what I'm meant to do. I don't have a house. I don't have house help. I do everything myself. So I have to prepare the children. But for now, they are grown up. Then I'll prepare my children for school, not waking them up by 4. I wake them up when I'm about leaving, since they can take care of themselves and they can take care of even their father. So they take care of themselves and the father. So I prepare what they will do before they leave the house in the morning and what they will do when they come back from school. That's for them, for that day in the morning. I have at least prepared for partially for that day. And I go to court. I leave my house by 5. I'll get to Ikeja, let's say, on a good day. I'll get to Ikeja by 8. And come back. When you get to work, you have to prepare updates and other work lining up in the office. You have to do that. Then I ensure I close early enough to continue where I stopped for the morning. And that is definitely when I get back, balancing it from the beginning was a bit hectic for me. I have to, by the time I get home, I'll be tired with traffic and the rest. I'll have to rest for a while. And definitely when I get back, the children would have prepared the meal for the day. And for those that can't, that is why I said time management is essential. When you get up very early in the morning, you lay out what you are going to do, your goals for the day, and what you aim to achieve for the day. So how I do it most of the time, it could be difficult, but managing home front, there are women that have done that and have done that successfully. And also what I encourage women to do is, we can do it when our mothers, how did they do it? How did they cope with us? Our mothers too some of our mothers were either working or trading, and they carry out the home front, they balance the home front and what they do effectively well, and bringing us up to be very, very, will I say, okay, very, very hardworking. So for us as women to balance the home front, we have to first create a conducive home front. And when I say conducive home front, how do we do that? By making sure that the home front is balanced. So when you are leaving the office, at times office environment, at times office could be stressful. So we ensure when we are leaving the office, we leave the stress before entering the house. We don't allow the stress get to us. We try as much as possible, when provided our home front is balanced and the house is conducive enough, we are happy to come to the house. And how do we make the home front? How do we settle the home front to be balanced? At times, for me, what I use most of the time is using to use wisdom to carry out activities. For my children, there's time for everything. And that is why I said it's essential for us to create that, to manage our time effectively, so that we will have time for the home front. And having time for the home front, how I do mine is this way. When the day I see my children needs my attention most, I create that time for them, and I give them that time and attention. And the day my husband, also my spouse, needs my attention most, I create time and give him his own time. And there's always this family time when all of us will come together and discuss, okay, what happened today in school? What happened? And one thing with our children, before you know it, they are all grown up. And if we put this career first, we discover at times we don't even know the children that we gave birth to. So when that time created for them should be the time you draw them closer. Like as I tell some people, you make them your friend, and not making them your friend, spoiling them. You ensure that when they do some things wrong, you scold them, and also tell them why they were scolded. For my time with my children, what I do is we watch film together, and bringing myself to their own level, and ask them, seek their opinion. So this film now, what do you think? Giving them that self-confidence and a mind of their own. at times we argue. There was a time I discovered that that was when I started work initially. I discovered I did not know them as much as I do. And that's really, it touched me because initially we were always together. I go and pick them in school. When we are coming back from school, we gist. When we are going back to school, we do our homework, we rehearse, test. But with work now, we have to share the thing. Daddy will go and drop, then mommy will pick. That is how we balance it. And when they eventually went to the boarding house, I discovered I was drifting away from them because when I would come back from work, I discovered I'm tired. And when they come, mommy, I go like, please now, let me rest small. So I discovered it's that thing, time management, which I was not using. And when I found out, immediately I said, okay, there's time for everybody, time for mommy, there's time for daddy, and time for yourself also. So the earlier we discover, the better for us. We could achieve what we want to be as mothers and as role models to our children. And to me, as the most important thing is when you have a supportive spouse, balancing the home front becomes easier because your spouse wants you when you are not there, that gap will be filled in by them. And for those who have this supportive spouse, and as I tell people, the thing is that you don't, the fact that your spouse is supportive, you don't capitalize on that and misuse that opportunity because there's most women that are looking for that and don't get it. So when you get a supportive spouse, the most important and the imperative thing to do is to give them and make them a priority. Giving them and attending to their needs. And that's why I say when it's daddy's time, yes, I give them that time. And when it's children's time, and the most vital thing is understanding each other, understanding your spouse, understanding the body language, understanding when your spouse needs you. Most women, when children start setting in, you say, "It's my children, my children, my children, my children." We forget the fact that yes, your children are vital to you. They are very important. They are part of your life. But also before these children, we have our daddies. So if you decide to focus all attention on the children, yes, they do need attention, and there's time for everything. To me, that is what I see it as. There's time for the children. The children have their time. You give them their time. You spend that quality time with them. And also, as a husband, the husband too, also, he's human too. And we will not deny the fact that our men are like kids, they're like children, and they too, they need to be taken care of. They need to be pampered. So we give them that to get that support, enough support from them. And also for Ramadan, balancing it, having to do with Ramadan. For the lucky ones, some women during Ramadan decide to say, okay, that during Ramadan, I take my annual leave to be able to balance the home front and also serve Allah the way we want and achieve what we want for that Ramadan, for that year. But at times for the unlucky ones, we are not even given like for where I work, the firm I work, we don't get that luxury. Our leaves are divided into two. We get the first leave during when courts are on break. And most of the time when courts are on break, it's not Ramadan. So what I do during that time is I look for assistance for the person to help in the home front and ensure I close early from work. Closing early from work will also give you time to do your ibadah before preparing for iftar. And after iftar, we prepare for the Tarawih prayer. And after the Tarawih prayer, I retire very early because I know the next day I'm getting up early. And the thing in my own office where I work is when you get there early, you are bound to close early. And when you get to the office, what I do most of the time is set out what's the task ahead of me. I do that. I greet my colleagues, exchange pleasantry, but once I clock in, like for us in Nigeria here, it's one for my law firm. If you don't finish your tax, you don't close. And I make them realize that, okay, it's Ramadan. And when you're working for the Christians, some of them are considerate. Some of them might tell you, you have to finish your task. And when the client comes, will you tell the client that, no, I'm fasting, I have to go home? I ensure that I tell them it's Ramadan, and I would crave their indulgence for that 30 days. Since I can't go on leave because of the situation at hand, I create that balance that, okay, I make sure once I get into the office, I do my tasks ahead of me, and the days I have to go to court after waking up for after the Fajr, I set up for this thing. But when I wake up for the Sahur, definitely I'm not going back to sleep. So with all these things, how do we take care of ourselves as mothers and as wives? You have time for, you've created time for your working place. You've also created time for your children, your spouse, and also the family time that's very essential. So how do you create time for yourself? Because if you don't take care of yourself, how will you be strong to take care of the family ahead of you? What I do, I also have my own time for myself. Time which I set out to do, I set out to do things for me, where I relax myself. Exercise, I do that like every Saturday. I do that. When I come back from work in the evenings, I do that. And also, once in a while, I give myself a treat. And because if you don't do that, how would you be stressed? You'll be tensed. The ability for you to focus will not be there. So I try as much as possible to balance balance both the home front, the working environment, and also where I take care of myself to have that sanity and have that courage to move on each day. Also, as women, for us that are aging and menopause is on the corner, we also need to take care of ourselves very well. Eat well, exercise well. Well, for us, naturally, the doctors will say you need enough rest. Well, to me, enough rest and enough sleep defines how you see enough sleep. For me, 2 hours sleep, quality sleep, not getting up, not getting up in interval is enough sleep for me. So for some people, enough sleep would be 8 hours, 6 hours. So I ensure I do that, and I try and also keep fit. So helping us to forge to get this balance is, and also the fact that we should also stay motivated. And how do we stay motivated? Because you look at things in the positive aspects and not the negative. Yes, times are hard. How do we balance these times? With Allah's help and with Allah's assistance, I pray we will achieve a balanced and a successful family with time. Do I still have time? Do I still have time?
Yes, you still have time, sister.
Okay, how many more minutes do I have, please?
Around 10 minutes.
Okay, let me just let me round up. Let me round up. So, for as mothers, we encourage ourselves not to be at times that days that are gloomy. There's days that when the days are hard, when you say very hectic. So we try as much as possible not to allow that get into us. How do we do that? We try as much as possible to, like for me, I use the Google Calendar to take notes of important dates, anniversaries, birthdays, and family events, so that you don't end up forgetting important family events and family activities or extracurricular activities. So for me, I use the Google Calendar and also set it with, I am analog. All those things are important. And once we allow work gets into us, we tend to forget such things. And as human beings, we are susceptible to making mistakes. Not that we do mistakes, but we try as much as possible to guard and prevent these mistakes from occurring. And so we try as much as possible to stay focused and also pursue our career the way we are meant to, but not let it get into our ways and let it be the most distant. Allah is also there. With the help of Allah, for me, I set anything I want to do, I put Allah first, and I ask Him to guide me and set me aright. I pray Allah make it easy for all of us as women. It's not easy, but may Allah make it easy for all of us all. And I give kudos to our mothers and also our mothers in the house. I'm a learner. I hope I've been able to contribute little that I can. I know our mothers in the house are there that have seen it all. I'm just starting, and pray to get, and also we pray for a successful family, and for us to achieve this world, and achieve in this world and in the year after. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khairan for that, sister. You have touched, and I can assure you that this is a topic that we will definitely have to retreat. We'll have to come back and touch base again on, because it's a topic that it affects every woman, but you'll be surprised it's not just the mothers. This is a topic that we have to treat properly, because if we look at the society that we're in today, I'm so happy that I spoke to you and get a reflection of what being a professional is like in Nigeria, because this is something that we are always facing it as a challenge here, but it's also a topic that we have to treat with our youth, because if we look at the society today, a lot of our daughters have delayed marriage and childbirth because of professional careers. Yeah, they're pursuing career before they are pursuing other things. And there has to, and I think that in talking to the youth, we need to let them understand the strike and the balance in, the priority, because a lot of them are living, planning for family to later on in life. So we have a lot of sisters that are not even thinking of marriage and they're in their 30s, but they are still pursuing their career, So we have that issue. And we also, in the diaspora, in the UK here, we're quite privileged, because if you're not, you can be flexible with your work and you have a government support. In Nigeria, unlike Nigeria, it's not really like that. You don't really have that much support from the government in order for you to be able to be working and be a mother and so on. So yeah, I think that we have to have a lot more, we probably get more professionals from not just in Nigeria, but also in the UK, possibly in America, to give us a reflection of how they're coping as a professional. As a professional, for me, I am lucky in the regards that my job allows me to be, what's it called, a locum. So that's like a supply teacher. So I lecture in the colleges, but I can do supply work, and supply work allows me to be flexible. So I'm not so committed to the bureaucracy of work. So that way I can also be, my family would come first as a supply teacher, so I can take work if and when I need it. So, and I'm sure that there are so many other professionals who has story that they can share with us and we can learn from. So I think this is a very, very important topic, a very big topic. Jazakallah khairan for giving us that input, sister. I appreciate it, and I hope you're available later on in this program, because there will be question and answer, and I'm sure there's a lot of women that would like to ask questions and get some insight on this topic. Okay, so let's move on to the next program on our agenda, and that's we have a pep talk next by Alaja. Okay, hold on a second. No. By Alaja Sister Adesida. She'll be giving us a pep talk today. I don't know if she's on. I think she is, because yeah, Alaja Marcelina Adesida. She'll be giving us her pep talk today, and then we'll move on to the next part of the program. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for always honoring my presence. I won't be long. I appreciate the balancing work, life, and family. It's a great topic to have, because sometimes, you think you can't do it all, but you can, depend on how you plan, and planning is quite important. So I think my topic that I had prepared for today, it's great, because it's about traits of highly successful women, because we are all successful, whether we are stay-at-home mothers or whether we are working mothers, or whatever it is, business mothers and that kind of thing. So I've got 7 traits of highly, effective women. Okay. The first trait is leadership. So successful women understand that being a leader is important, and you can be a leader in your home. And leadership really is not about you; it's about the people that you're leading, your children, your husband, your co-workers, anyone that surrounds you. And the true essence of leadership is about being a servant, not a servant that people will wipe their feet on, but a servant that does not exalt themselves, but instead they lift others up. It's about how we lift others up. So leadership is really important. And if you don't have the characteristics to be a leader, it can be learned. Some of us are natural leaders. So it is really important that as leaders in the society, because a lot of people watch us, observe what we do, and we'll talk more about what we do. So let's be true leaders. Let's use what God has given us in our hands, which is to be able to have influence in our society and in our homes. The second bit is successful leaders or successful women are concentrate on their education. And the reason I joined this Sisters Forum is, yes, I was invited to speak and give pep talks, but I also learn. And so it's really important. Learning is not about having certification, having a degree or whatever, but it's really about all of the ways that you learn about life and how you teach others. I discovered, because I'm doing the 7 habits. I said I'm doing it because I'm not only just listening to the 7 habits of highly successful people by Stephen Covey. I'm doing that with a group of young men in Nigeria, and I do it on Zoom with them every Saturday. We do other topics, but education, where you learn something, you've got to teach other people, and then you've got to do it. So it's not just about learning. If you just learn something, we forget. If I asked you something you learned in primary school, you probably have forgotten. So it's really important that we not just learn, we actually do what we've learned, and then we teach other people what we've learned. And that is called educating yourself and others. Because if you have one idea and I have one, we both have one idea each. But if we teach each other about those ideas, then we both have 2 ideas. So education is really important, and it's not necessarily about certification. It's how we use what it is we've learned to shape our lives. The third thing is advice. Accepting advice is really quite powerful, because sometimes we think we're the ones that know everything and we have to give people advice. And, I will turn that to, actually, it is important to always ask for feedback, because sometimes we are so blind to our blind spots that we can't see. So that's why it's called the blind spot, because you can't see it. It's really, really important to give yourself, to ask people to give you feedback about how you're doing, and just accept it, because it's information for you. It's not information for you to go, yeah, but I didn't, never give reasons or excuse or rationalize how you've behaved or have you done something. It's always good to just listen to the advice. And when you're giving advice as well, give it with honesty. Don't give it because of where you are. Give it because you want to let that person grow, and not because you want to have your own back by saying to them, oh, you didn't even greet me, or you didn't call me auntie, or whatever. No, if they didn't call you auntie, or they didn't greet you, tell them, do you know what? I'm cool with this, but if you go to a different environment, that might not be acceptable. And this is just kind of like a silly example, but I hope you understand the essence of what I'm trying to say. Number 4 traits of highly successful women is the diversity of their thinking. because sometimes we think, and we just think because of the way we were brought up, the way we've evolved as people. But sometimes it's good when you have that thought to go to people that you trust and play that thought through them. Come to your own conclusion of what you want to do, but check how other people will deal with that same situation. And it's really important that you think independently but together as well. Even in your marriage, you might decide, do you know what, I'm going to paint the whole house. Well, have you asked your husband? And if he's saying that, has he asked you? And it's really important to learn how to communicate so that you can have a diversity of thinking. Number 5, emotional intelligence. It's really, really important that we know we have filters for ourselves and we are self-aware, because a lot of people are not self-aware. They're not emotionally intelligent. And so they get upset by everything they don't need to be upset by. They get happy by everything they don't need to be happy about. And it's really important to check, what are your beliefs? What are your attitudes? What are your thoughts? What negative thoughts do you have that impacts how you behave? And again, it just goes back to that advice bit where actually sometimes you should ask for feedback. Some people go, oh, I just said it because, well, actually, what damage are you causing when you say things the way you want to say it? It's really important that we think about others when we are expressing ourselves. And to be able to think about others means you're emotionally intelligent. Number 6 is resilience. You know what? Resilience is quite important. I couldn't join you guys last month because I, had to go and see somebody who had just lost their mom. But I've joined today because, do you know what? It's part of me knowing on Saturday, first Saturday of the month, I need to be here. I'm tired. I'm doing other things, but I need to be here. And it's really important that you don't quit trying, or you don't quit trying to do something because, someone didn't remind you or someone didn't tell you or whatever. But for me, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, no matter how inconvenient it is. I know that sometimes I've been able to join you on the motorway because for me, it's really about great habits and being resilient in spite of what is happening around me. And the last bit is number 7 is sidebar. And this is about your habits, your sidebar. I know we don't drink, but if you just think about it, it's really about your habits. Your habits will be different from everyone. Your routine will be different from everyone. The time you go to bed, the time, your first hour, what you do when you wake up will be different. So don't try and be successful based on how I approach things, because I'm different from you. So create your habits to suit who you are, who God created you to be. And that's what I'm going to leave with you. For me, those are the 7 traits that I feel that highly successful women should have. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm handing over back to whoever is taking over from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. That was very knowledgeable and very interesting. Moving on now, we have the Zikr al-Qasida, and I think we would hand that over to, normally it's Alaja Grillo that usually does that for us, but Grandma is not here with us today, so we'll hand it over to Alaja Rukaya Awaye Washiriri. She'll be taking over the Zikr al-Qasida. And Sister Adesida, please stick around because we'll be doing question and answer, and I'm sure there's a lot of questions to come your way as well. All right. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Fatih lima ulika wala lima zabakana zurra al-haqqi bil-haqqi wala hadi illa ziratika al-mustaqim wala aliyaka qadri wa miqdar lazimi subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun والسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين أبى القلب الله أن يكون متيما عليه فجرهم بالنبي معيما أبيت بليل تلميذنا مرشدا بذكر الذي قد تبدأ ومعتما تزاجل فيه ورقا ليلي وجرتي لأني وجفني كالمزاني بمجرما عليه صلاة الله ثم ظلموا وحال الوطى بالله كرامي سوينما الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله أمبو أقوني زاويني وحلا لا إله إلا الله الله موجود سبحان الله لا إله إلا الله أمبو أقولا ذكري لوا لا إله إلا الله الله موجود محمد لا إله إلا أمبو أقوني زاوي لوا لا إله إلا الله الله موجود لا إله إلا الله lórí ibùsùn aláwù ni la ilaha kódà bá ń jẹun aláwù ni la ilaha illallah kódà bá ń mú mi aláwù ni la ilaha illallah mọ̀sálàláhù mádàmá la ilaha illallah sifati zati barahama la ilaha illallah على هزلي هزولمي على لا إله إلا الله بني هدينا لبرهما لا إله إلا الله ولا موجود برهما لا إله إلا بابا تيوا برهما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما ولك ولهات ولما سبق نازل كبرك ولا دي لا زرق المستقيم ولا علي قدر بدار العظيم. I'm sorry.
Mommy, someone yelled to the door.
It's okay.
Mommy.
Hey, you're my bino. I'm going to disturb me by.
Could disturb when low time when Aja Shakira. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We thank Alaja Rukoya Awayewa Shiriri for that beautiful one, mashallah, alhamdulillah.
Yes. So, well, you know, that's what we were discussing. You know, how do you balance professionalism and family? And Alaja Warrior Shiri had to balance that now on display. So, maybe we should just move on to the question and answer. And
sorry, sister. Before we move to question and answer, I want to suggest that we take some contribution from Alaja Shalewa Bello, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Is she on? Alaja Bello.
Yes, but I think she's just been made a host now.
Okay.
Co-host.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself.
Okay.
That's really putting me on the spot there.
Yes, you will putting you on the spot, inshallah.
Yeah, Ramadan Mubarak, everyone. Yeah, it's I mean, obviously, I think my contribution is Alhamdulillah, that we're part of the women folk. I think it has pleased Almighty Allah to grant us with skills, even from, that we came to this world with. This is what I believe, because even among the general genre, it's accepted that women are built with multitasking skills, that we're able to do more than one thing at a time. Also, when we see our children, the boys and girls, we can tell some of this difference, though we shouldn't be encouraging that, but we are kind of blessed with multi skills. Yeah, it's important to balance our hearts, just like our sister Jibril said. It's a learning curve for everybody, and the moderator already said this is something we have to revisit from time to time to remind ourselves. I also always find it challenging, balancing work, even though, sometimes one is self-employed. That's a blessing on its own, but still we have to give appropriate time, required time for the family, and not just put all the work and career at the foremost. Because if we do all this and we have not created enough time for the family, what would we have to show here and in hereinafter? We beseech and pray Almighty Allah continue to grant us the knowledge and the subur to be able to balance all these acts successfully. Amen.
Shukran Allah, sister, for that, ma.
Aja Shakira, slight deviation as well.
Okay.
We like to recognize two of our mothers as well, who's joined us, and that's Ajia Fatima Aliyu and Alhaja Shakira Ajenifuja Sholebo. So we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. So Aja Shakira, if you don't mind to take a few contributions from each of them. Thank you.
Okay, Aja Shakira Ajenifuja, if you'd like to give us a few of your contribution in regards to the topics today, or any topics, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so we can move on to Aja Fatima. Is it Fatima Aliyu? Assalamu alaikum, sister. Okay, so maybe they would like to participate later on to as we go further down the line. I don't know. We'll come back to the sisters in a short while. I don't know if we have any questions and answer to put through to the speakers today. I, for one, have two questions, if that's okay. My question is for Ajia Hadiza Jibril. So I have two questions. The first one is that we have this assumption, or I have this assumption that childcare would was often much better in Nigeria as opposed to childcare here in the diaspora, because it's one of the most expensive things that we have to balance, between working and being available for childcare. So I was wondering, how did you find childcare in Nigeria more? Well, was it helpful for you? Is that assumption still the same? And the second question is that here we have maternity leave. How is maternity leave for you when you were raising your children? or how is maternity leave in general in Nigeria, and how does that help in balancing the family life? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, child care in Nigeria is still the same as you know it. Well, with what is in the society now, how I did mine is, for me, I was skeptical about handling my children to house helps, because a lot goes on in the society presently. There are some mothers that will leave their children to house helps and find out when they go out, when they come back, they discover so many harmful things or unimaginable things that had happened. And that I was not comfortable with. And so what I did was, well, I actually had siblings that were actually quite my junior, that comes to during their holiday time, they're in my house to help out with the children. And for taking care of the children, what I do most of the time, and it's funny enough, it's like part of them as they even grow older, because the first is 18 and the second is 17. They cling to me. The thing is that I make them my friend. When we are together, we talk about virtually everything. I know in the society these days, before you know it, during our own time, we hardly had time. There was this thing, there was no internet. But nowadays, internet is there, and very, very, it's just a click away. So for children, you know, especially when they are growing up, they are quite inquisitive. They ask a lot of questions. And, you know, then when they say, for our girl children, when you say, okay, adolescents and this thing, you teach adolescents and puberty, you teach them how to take care of themselves, how to handle this, how to do that. You don't expect a childcare to do that for you. And they ask different questions like I could definitely the children mix this up. When they go to school, they mix up with different children and from different homes. When they come back, they discuss different things. So they come home and say, Mommy, what is this? You don't tell them, no, it's not yet time for you to learn this. Where did you learn it? You don't understand. Please try and as much as possible to explain it to them. Especially in these days that we have pornography and the likes. If once they come and ask you a question and you go like you're embarrassed, you don't know how to start. When you ask me, what age do you start with teaching children on sex and the likes? It's a reality that we must face one way or the other. It will come. And that question will come from children are quite inquisitive. So
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, Hadiza.
Thank you for the lecture, even though I have to be in and out of the lecture because I'm attending another Ramadan program where I am. But just to appreciate the speakers for the enlightenment and to encourage us all as women in various professions to try to take from some of the experiences that have been shared with us to be able to balance our professional expectations and our home expectations. I pray Almighty Allah will continue to sustain us and accept our efforts and reward our efforts of Ibadah in this month and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hadiza. I really appreciate it.
So back to Sister Aja Jibril.
So okay, so as I said, as I was saying, that we try as much as possible to carry our children along and also educate them where necessary. The girl child, most especially. The girl child, we try to bring the girl child very close to us. And by like the method, sorry for the noise around me. Let me just move away from here. For the girl child, I encourage you bringing the child closer to you by when you are cooking, when you are in the kitchen, they are there with us. And as we are teaching them, we are also talking to them. If you leave them, well, they prefer even staying and watching film and being on the phone. So that is, for me, I try as much as possible to be close to them and tell them the basic things of life. How to be honest, how to be honest, and what they expect to see over the internet. I try as much as possible to bring down myself to educate them with that that is necessary. I hope that settles that. I did not get your second question, please.
Yeah. Yes, my second question is, how is maternity? How does that work around family support? Oh, well, on balancing professional and home life in Nigeria?
Okay, like in Nigeria here, it varies with the organization. I think for government organizations, civil servants, they have, if I'm not mistaken, 2 months for their maternity leave. And whereas for the private organization, from my own side, I started when I finished putting to bed. I stopped childbearing. That's when I started. So I did not actually experience the act of maternity leave, but where I work, they give 45 working days for the mother to have maternity leave. Then when you resume, you close early. That's instead of closing for 5:30, you close 2:30. That is how it's been balanced where I work and in most organizations. But for civil servants, I'm not too sure with that.
Okay. So they're helping maternity by making the work flexible for mothers.
Yes, they make it flexible.
Okay, and the maternity is probably similar to places like America as well, because they don't really release that much maternity time for the mothers either. So it's very interesting to hear that. We have on our, I'm sure there's still some questions that's going to be coming this way, but we just want to break for a second and have Alaja Akerele to contribute her contribution. And in the meantime, sisters, if we have any question in around this topic, can you please leave them in the chat? Yeah, if some people don't want to speak up front, it's fine. You can just give us a message in the chat while Alaja Akerele talks, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Alaja. We're waiting for you. Alaja Akerele. We've made her co-host, so just give her a few minutes. Okay, in the meantime, if there's any more questions and answers for the speakers of today, please feel free to unmute or send a message in the chat.
Right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to you all. Sister Shakira, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah.
I mean, alhamdulillah. I'm so sorry I came in late. It's Anasal speaking, and I'm just grateful for this short period I am here with you all. And then, you know, just to thank all the speakers and all that. The topic today was actually something I really wanted to start with from the beginning. I wanted to hear what she's got to say about it, because it's a challenge that all of us face. As a woman, it's very difficult, you know, to have a family and then be going to work and up and down. How to balance it? It causes a lot of problem for us all the time. And then sometimes you come to a point where you say something's gotta give. You either leave your work and focus on the family, or you focus on work and also the family would be lacking a bit. And so it's like being in the deep blue sea and the devil. You do not know where to turn to sometimes. It's a challenge, obviously. And then, as you must have treated this part, I'm sorry, like I said, I was in a family meeting and then I couldn't just bring myself out. I've said a lot of excuses. They won't let me go. But I was going to say, should you find yourself in that situation, which one would our esteemed guest, which one would he think you should choose? Would you let us stay with the family and also maybe be doing side businesses on the side, be selling few things, you know? Sometimes you can even be a professional. You've gone to school and studied what your career is all about. But then when you do not have help, and also sometimes your husband might not be as understanding as you would want him to be, or rightly for him too. The things that you're supposed to do, the role you're supposed to play in the family is lacking. And marriage, all of us know, is very important. So should you dump all that aside and help in raising the children the way you're supposed to play your role as a mother, or should you continue balancing it in the hope that it will soon end and then, you know, you can go back to normal? And mind you, this could be at the detriment of your own family, especially when you're abroad. Children, they get influenced very easily, you know, peer pressure and all that. So you have to be focused. You literally have to have 4 eyes in order to, you know, help. And so you alone, you need those 4 eyes, excluding your husband's eyes. So I'm just going to ask again to simplify the question. Should we, when we find ourselves in situations where you do not have help at all, you know, and then you need to decide whether to keep being a professional whilst your family is being affected, or do you put that aside and then focus on the family, no matter how difficult that sort of situation is? Which one would you advise the lady to do? Which one? I'm so sorry if you've treated it before. Like I said, I'm late, so I might be taking you back a bit. Yeah.
Just before the sister answers that, welcome back, sister. And
thank you.
What we're gonna do is I will allow sister the host to answer it, but I also want you to treat the questions that are coming up in the chat. So you carry on your question and your role as the question and answer.
Okay.
All right. There's some question in the chat that you are going to put through to the lecturer. So
Inshallah.
Go ahead, Sister
Jibril.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for your question. Like as I said earlier on, I said time management. Yes, it could be handful. We'll find our situation not having house help. Like I read, and okay, let me deviate a bit. I'm totally not against house help. There are some people that are lucky with house helps that you get, and be lucky to get a good house help is you doing your homework well. That's doing the background check on the person you want to bring into your house. And once you have a background check of that person and that person is credible, I feel, why not? We can't be, we are human after all. We are not supernatural being. We are humans. So where you can not strive without the house help, it's good to take a house help. But before bringing in that house help, please ensure you do the background check. Back to your question, sister. The thing, as you were asking the question, my situation came to play when I started working. Initially, I was into business, doing supply and supplying supermarkets and the likes. It was not easy when I started newly as a working and professional mother. I was struggling between balancing the home front and my work. It's either it's affecting my work or it's affecting the family. And the most important thing is the family, no matter what may be. The family it's the powerhouse, and it needs to be nurtured and taken care of. In the situation where you don't have house help, as I said, time management, it's most important. That if you must go to work, wake up early. What I do is I go to bed early to wake up early. And also, at times, the fact that the most important thing why we came to earth, to serve Allah and worship Allah, we are not leaving that aside. So we should also put that in our mind. There's also time for Allah, time for tajud. You create that time. Once you go to bed early, definitely you'll be able to go for the tajud and also get the home front settled. For me, when I wake up early, I try as much as possible, try and set out activities that I have for that day. I try as work out things for if the kids are quite small, it's quite tasking. I know it's a handful. You have the children, you bath for the children, take the children to school, but that is where the spouse comes in. Having a supportive spouse. And if on the other hand, the spouse is not willing, at times it's like my mother would tell me, patience, it's everything with our spouse. Patience, it's key. I believe if no matter how that man is, if you are patient with him and try to reason with this person,
Sister Anna, question and answer. Do you have any more questions that you'd like to throw in the direction of the lecturers?
Yeah, well, 1 minute. Let me check if there are other questions. Their own is more important than mine. Okay, so thank you for welcoming me. I'm in the chat now. Okay. Okay. I think she just answered this one. My mommy Fumi Lawal, she just said for Sister Jibril, are you against house help? If managed properly, they can come in handy. I think she answered that as well. And then my mommy Fumi Lawal said it is too much for women in the diaspora. If you do a poll on women in the UK, you'll find that majority will say they need help if they can afford it. And then she also added, feminism is good, but it resulted in the disguise of being a superwoman. Well, we all had that. I don't know if there's anybody else that has any other question to ask. All I'll say is it's not easy being a woman, sorry about that. It's not easy being a woman, and then they expect us to be superwoman, like Mommy Fumi is saying there. But then we do not have to. It's okay to just show your weaknesses all the time. I do it all the time because I feel like it's very healthy for me. And I feel like it will inspire other women, because if you continue acting like you're superwoman, some people will harm themselves trying to do the same. We all copy from each other, but then you copy the positive things. Not everybody has that sense of doing that. What somebody can do, you might not be able to do it because it's not your time to be at that stage yet. You have to recognize your own things, your own family situation and everything. It differs. And so, well, we women, we tend to compete in everything we do. That's the fact. So if you see somebody that's achieving, she's a high flyer, a career woman, everybody shouting their name here and there. On social media, she's everywhere. And then, you realize, oh, and she's got a husband, she's got children as well. Why can't I be like her? You do not know the story behind that woman's circumstance and all that. You do not know the kind of help she's getting. Even in this abroad, some people do bring now, people have seen that it's becoming a norm now, people bringing people from Africa to come and help in their house. And then, well, it's turning into a chaotic thing now, because those people, once their eyes open now, they want to live their own life. Those people that you brought in to come and help you, they will either snatch your husband, or they will do things that will be against your children, or they'll go and find their own Oyibo and start doing so many things. And then, that won't help you. So, I have seen incidences where a lot of things, one Gambian auntie of mine brought one lady as her house help. I don't know whether she didn't meet the woman in person or not, but when I came in, she told me, oh, this is my house help I brought from Africa. The house help was looking like Naomi Campbell, very beautiful. I thought, is something wrong with you? Should you bring somebody like this and call her house help? But then it didn't end well. It did not end well, All I would say, we need help, all of us. I'm just saying this speech to try and uplift our moods, all of us. We need help. We need prayers, and we need to help each other in our moods. You do not look at somebody and say, oh, they're everything. Like Sayyidah Hamdallah, for example. I'm always wondering where she gets her energy from. Because wallahi, I can't do what she's doing. It is impossible. For what? This short life. In fact, does that woman sleep? I always ask her. So only God knows where she's getting her strength from. She's surrounded by wonderful ladies that will be in her company sometimes, and then she has them. She's been there for them. They're ready to be there for her. Maybe I do not have that. And that's why when I look at her, I get exhausted. Just looking at her, I get tired. I feel tired, So thank you for coming is what I'll say, because I can't see any other questions. Apart from, well said. We should not be afraid to seek help. Yeah, thank you, Alaja Shalewa Bello. That is very true. You shout and cry. If you want, go to Sky News. Let them see you on the TV crying. I need help. Yes, it helps. It helps. Don't be feeling too big. You do not have to do it as publicly as that. That was an exaggeration. But talk to somebody. Also, to find somebody to talk to in this country, somebody that you trust about your family issues, is another challenge. So the challenges are never ending. So that last part of your speech, I love it. Be patient with your partner. When you're patient with each other, and then you try and build that rapport, become best of friends. All these, your insecurities, or what you call them, things that you fear, you can talk to them. I don't think there'll come a time where they will come to Facebook to shout, you that your husband did, you that your children did, because that is your partner. But somebody that you talk to, it doesn't matter how old they are. I see old women sitting on social media shouting things that people tell them before, because they are not in good terms with the person. They will come straight to social media and bring it there. So it is very difficult now, to find somebody that you can come. That is why programs like this, what we're doing now, it's very helpful. Don't ever think it's a small thing. Things that we're hearing here, they are uplifting us. If we've been trying once, we will try more. I keep teasing my husband. I will tell Sayyidah Hamdallah, this man is very irritating, But when I hear you talk, even if he starts irritating me, I'll be like, my darling, my this, Usually I'm not like that. I want to fight back. But because I sat in a program where somebody calmed me down and let me know that patience is very important in marriage, and I believe it. And I try to, do it in my own marriage. It works. So thank you all for doing this. Thank you, Sayyidah Hamdallah, and all that. Anyway, I think that's it for the question and answer, Sayyidah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't find any questions anymore.
Okay.
And I came. Yeah, I'm really sorry for coming.
Thank you very much, Sister Anasar. That was a very, very wonderful contribution. You came late, but yes, you gave some valid information and valid opinions. We appreciate that. And in conclusion, I'd like to add that, no matter what the profession is, no matter what the job is, we need to be mindful of the fact that it should never, ever compete or override with our family, with our home, because whatever we do in this world is only for a while, is only for this world. Whatever profession you have, if we die now, somebody else will fill that profession. Somebody else will be there to take over that role. It would not be held aside for you. However, we need to be mindful that on the day of judgment, because when we leave this world, we're going somewhere. God will question us about our children. God will question us about our family, about our role as a wife, about our role as a daughter. So therefore, we need to know that whenever we're thinking about what priority comes first, whether it's our job or our family, we also need to be conscious of the fact that which one is more is going to be answerable on the day of judgment. And therefore, I think that should give us a way of striking the balance between your work and your family life. May Allah make it easy for us. May Allah accept all of our talk today as an act of ibadah.
Amen. My Mommy Fumi Lawali said, most importantly, it should not come in between you and your creator. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, that's a great contribution. Sayyidah, you want to say something?
Yeah, well, thank you, everyone. Especially Sayyidah Anna for that teasing. I'm not a superwoman, no. I'm just grateful to Allah that you've rightly said it, that Allah bless me with
Grandma
my
is with
beautiful
us now.
ladies who's surrounded me. So, and I'm so happy and I appreciate everyone. You can see the Sisters Forum, they've taken everything over. I don't have to really worry myself about anything. I just have to come down here, sit down myself and listen and learn, so that's teamwork. And I honestly appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone. We can only be our sister's helper. And I think it's because of the time change that make us miss our mommy, Sayyidah Bilkis Grillo. Yes, she's joined us now, but I was trying to ring to let her know about the time change that we are same time with Nigeria now. But I think I've seen her join though, and we are just about.
Yes, I'm not hungry. That's why. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh, mommy.
Our Nigerian 2 o'clock time, and that's why.
Yes, so we are same time now, ma.
Okay, so
yeah,
sorry.
so even if it's prayer, you will pray for us for today, inshallah.
Bismillah.
Naam, alhamdulillah. So Sayyidah Shakira, is there any more thing so that we can go to our mother? And we have Sayyidah Aisha from Cairo. I don't know whether...
Just announcements, but I think should Grandma give us prayer first before we go to the announcements?
Yeah, let Grandma pray for us. She's just done a wonderful program about the last 2 weeks. She's been extremely busy, organizing a beautiful event for the Halal Fader worldwide organization. We really appreciate the event, getting all our fathers, teachers, tutors, and everybody together, all mentors all over the world. It's not really easy, but when we see women, our mothers doing wonderful, I think we appreciate them, and it gives us, the younger ones coming, gives us energy. So well done, ma. Ilali amami, mashallah.
Alama Amin, Shukran Jazilan. Thank you so much. My
Amen.
greetings to all our sisters for the wonderful presentation every month. Every time we do come here and enjoy a lot of innovative and soul-inspiring lectures and the way of life on how to actually take care of the home. This is a kudos to Zavat Sisters organization. May Allah continue to strengthen you, inshallah. Am I to start the prayer? For the prayers?
Yes, ma. You can pray for all the Jama.
Okay. Alhamdulillah. First of all, we give thanks to Almighty Allah through Ramadan. We thank Allah that we are part of those people witnessing Aliyah. So whoever among you is present in Allah has made it possible for us.
Yeah, we have this network each from all our Nigeria. Yeah, she's back, alhamdulillah. You are muted, ma.
You are muted, ma.
Alhamdulillah that we are all in Ramadan. Allah grant us ability, the best of health, the right of ability to be able to carry out all the obligations in this holy month. And may Allah accept every act we have done or we are doing or we are going to do, little or much, as worthy acts of ibadah that He will be pleased with. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We pray to Almighty Allah to grant us the blessing of seeing the Ramadan through to the end in good health, and then being able to be partakers of all the various obligations and the blessings therein, the day and the night, ability to be able to do the nawafil in the night, to read the Quran in the day, the tilawat of Quran, and then to ponder over the meanings, and then to become better Muslims, inshallah. May Allah continue to be with us in all our endeavors. That said, today we are going to have a prayer that is a common used by all of us when we finish our wazifa. When we finish our wazifa, we used to have the khatmil finish our wazifa, which is an Allah has been able to put together from the various Quranic ayahs and prayers. May Allah continue to answer our prayers. Allahumma anta al-awwal falaysa qablaka shay'un wa anta al-akhir falaysa ba'daka shay'un wa anta al-zahir falaysa fawqaka shay'un wa anta al-batin falaysa dunaka shay'un fakun lana ya awwal ya akhir ya zahir ya batin waliyan wa naziran anta waliyuna wa maulana فنعم المصير اللهم إنا نسألك بفاتحية الفتحة تامة وبخاتمية الخاتم حسن الختام اللهم إنا نسألك من الخير كله عاجله وآجله عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من كل شر عاجله وآجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك ورضا نبيك ورضا الأشياء ورضا الوالدين ورضا الوالدين ورضا الوالدين يهيب فيما. اللهم اجعل في اختيارك اختيارنا ولا تجعل إلا إليك اجترارنا وبيننا وبين كل ظالم واجزل كل من إلينا أحسنا وجازيا الجزاء الحسنا. اللهم ارفع عنا الجعد والجوع والعرية واكشف عنا من البلاء ما لا يكشفه غيرك. ربنا بالعيادة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا ولا تحملنا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وكبيرنا وصغيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا وعادرنا وغائبنا وعربنا وعبدنا وطائنا وعصينا. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق خاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه حمدا بلا انقطاع ولا نهاية حمدا دائما بدوام ملك الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا
آمين.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. السلام
آمين.
عليكم ورحمة الله
آمين.
تعالى وبركاته.
Amin kun fayakum.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Tabarak. Okay, Jazakallah khairan, Grandma, for that. May Allah accept it as an act of ibadah. Announcements now for Ajia Olateju. Is there any announcements that you'd like to make for the group? Ajia Olateju.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, we'll send out the list of our groupings, because for Ramadan every year we normally have groupings. We group each, we make group of, so we're gonna send out the groupings tonight, inshallah. After this program, we send out the groupings, so everybody will know where they belong to. And the grouping, the aim is to help us when we get ourselves grouped. We get when we are as a group, there will be a coordinator for the group. Each group, there will be a Friday the group is hosting. Like this group hosts on the first Friday, the second group the second Friday, the third group the third Friday, and the fourth group will be the host for the fourth Friday. So for the group members, we will have special prayers, and then what they can afford, as like they donate to Zafat accounts as a group. So for the group, we say the Barama group has got this amount, our Walu group has got this amount, and every week. So that's the way we go about it for the Ramadan program. Inshallah, further information will be sent out regarding our Ramadan programs, the lectures and everything, inshallah. But tomorrow, inshallah, we still have our Zafat Lateef, 4 p.m. UK time and 4 p.m. Nigerian time, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairun for that, sister. And the next one is the vote of thanks by Ajia Khadija Lawal. Vote of thanks, please, sister.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alájọ Látẹ́jú, ẹ bá bóyá sáfà wàsífà yẹn táìmù tó túbọ̀ máa bọ́ sí ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá announce ẹ̀jù. Bóyá àníṣe ní 7:30 yẹn mọ́ àmọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run.
Assalamu alaikum. I didn't hear the question. I didn't hear the question.
She's asking if the wazifa would still be taking place at 7:30 as usual.
Sayyidah is going to communicate with us regarding that, because there's been some issues with the clashing of that time with the Nigerian time with the Afars, and so when she's had a meeting with the Afars, we'll get back, inshallah, with everybody regarding the timing.
Will there be any more questions? Okay, so we'll move on to the vote of thanks by Ajia Khadija Lawal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak, everyone. On behalf of Zafat Manchester, under the auspice of our Sayyidah Hamdallah Bello, I am really honored to do the vote of thanks once again. I say a big thank you to our honorable guest speaker today, Hayla'Allah Jum'ah, for the beautiful topic delivered today on how we balance our home and work at the same time. And I am also saying a big thank you to our co-sisters and mothers in the house for honoring our invitation monthly. And today we've come to an end of our program, and we say Allah should spare our life to our next coming program, inshallah. Jazakallah to everyone that is present today. Thank you, everyone. And Ramadan Mubarak to everyone.
Ramadan
Everyone ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀ láyé o. Àwa tá bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà la máa parí ẹ̀, inshallah bi qudratillah. Amen.
Amen.
And just one more. I just wanted to say, Salamu alaikum. My mom is online. Ajose. Salamu alaikum, mommy. Thank you for constantly supporting and thank you for being on the forum today. Just want to acknowledge her presence. If she'd like to say salam to the group, that's my mom.
Yeah, of course, yes. We like grandma to say salam to the group, inshallah. Let's see. Is she using Ajose?
Yes.
Yeah, Dini, mashallah.
Yeah, that's the Adini of London.
Yeah, welcome, ma.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone. May Allah continue to bless us all. Thank you very much, my sisters, my children, my grandmother. Thank you all. God bless you. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak. Salam alaikum. Ma.
Thank you,
Hear
ma.
your
Thanks for
voice.
joining. We appreciate you. And thank you for looking after our dear sister, Aja Shakira.
Alhamdulillah.
Omokobi 100.
Thanks. Alhamdulillah.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to type it.
Allah Akbar, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I like to quickly say a very big thank you as well to all of our mothers who has been supporting us, especially on the Ramadan project as well. We've had lots of donations, officially and unofficially, and we've had some in the pipeline as well, helping out to make sure all our afars, our missioners, our teachers, back home in Nigeria and wherever they are, that they are happy and they have a beautiful Ramadan. On behalf of all the Afars and the Mission Board of Zafat, we appreciate you all. We thank you very much. However, nothing is too small. It's not just the Hafaz. During Ramadan, Zafat normally help widows and the orphans as well around Nigeria, but we don't announce. Whatever we do, we go solo. So whatever you want to do, it is highly welcome, inshallah, Rahman, because the reason why we really don't shout that out is because we don't want to lose focus. Our focus is dhikr, and in line with our tariqah, whatever we do, we prefer it to be kind of silent. We don't want to really shout out that we are giving gari and rice to people out there. If it is our dhikr, yeah, mashallah, alhamdulillah. May Allah accept it from every one of us as an act of ibadah. To those of us who's reach out to us, we thank you. Allah know all of you. May Allah replenish your pocket in manifolds. Ibi tá ti mówó náà kò ní tán bẹ́ẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Nínú kan tán ká tó rí mi, Albarka Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you are interested as well in supporting our project, home and abroad, please do get in touch. Inshallah. May Allah continue to bless everyone. Thank you so much. Our Halaja Oyinshola, thank you so much for the beautiful vote of thanks on behalf of everybody. I'm not going to be repeating anything, but I just want to say we love you all our mothers. And please do continue. Yeah, do continue to yeah, you know, sometimes I'm when Sayyidah Hannah was saying what she was saying. Gbogbo àwọn ìyá yìí wọ́n kàn wọ Ọlọ́run àtànábì mọ́ mi lára ni, honestly. The meetings will be late sometimes. The order of program, you know, they've just accept. Wọ́n kàn ti gbà fọ́lọ́run lára mi, wọ́n dẹ̀ gbà mí bọ́lọ́run ti dá mi. Thank you so much. You are the people tí ò jẹ́ kíṣẹ́ náà kí ó sú wa ṣe. Ọlọ́run ò wá ní jẹ́ ká fi ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan wa ṣàwátì lágbára Ọlọ́run. Èṣù bí èèyàn bí èṣù tí wọ́n máa ń wọnú àárín àwùjọ tán máa ń bàjẹ́, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kán ráyè láàrin wa o. Bá ṣe wá ń tẹ̀léra wa kiri tá à ń kóra wa kiri yìí náà ni k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ ká jọba aṣáájú ẹ̀dá Nábì wọlé ọlá, ká bá wọlé ọlá, ká bá wọlé ọlá. Àlùbáríkà oṣù àlùbáríkà tí a wà yìí, ọlá sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Assalamu alaikum, my sister.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum to all our brothers, our sisters in Safat, our mothers, our grandmas. On behalf of Ahlul Faida Global Peace and Leadership Foundation, We want to say a very big thank you, Jazakumullahu khairan, for your gestures, your loving gestures, your support towards our various programs that we just concluded, and for your moral and the financial support to the cause of the foundation. We say, Fa'ila al-hamam, ila al-hamam, Ma'amin tawakufi bis-salam, Fa'ila al-hamam, ila al-hamam. We thank you on behalf of all of our technical committees and our members. We say, may Allah continue to elevate your ranks and continue to help Zavard go from strength to strength into the greater heights and beyond. Inshallah, we thank you so much. Kindly register our appreciation for us from Al-Faida Global Peace and Leadership Foundation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Grandma. And closing prayer by Ajia Aisha from Cairo. Aisha Lawal from Cairo. Ajia Aisha Lawal from Cairo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Aisha Tilodomolum. Balancing profession and the home front, inshallah. Over to Yaja Shakira.
All right, so that's a wrap. So alhamdulillah for today. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen for another successful lectures from our wonderful mother and our wonderful sisters and our wonderful grandmothers. May Allah Azwajan accept it as an act of ibadah.
Actually, Aja Shakira, is it
yes.
possible we call Alaja Bilikis Eyitayo to do the closing duha, please?
Sure.
I've just noticed that she's there, and she's
Okay.
always one of our beautiful sisters who's always joining. Please, let
okay.
us.
Alaja Bilikis Eyitayo. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I think if Allah give me another daughter, maybe I will name that girl Bilikis, because all the Bilikis that I've known, they are always strong women and ladies. Look at our mommy, Sayyidah Bilikis Grillo.
Yeah.
And look at Alaja Bilikis Eyitayo as well. She's an
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Quite right.
You are ready to have another baby. Sorry, continue, ma. Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Kareem, ma.
Bismillah Aja Eyitayo.
Mo sorry ma, ma kí lẹ fẹ́ kí n ṣe ma? Mi ò tètè gbọ́.
Close.
Okay. Ọlọ́run kó dáhùn kọ́lọ́run bá gbàdúrà tá a ṣe. Kí Ọlọ́run kó wọlé àná Muhammad gbogbo táwọn ìyá wa tọrọ fún náà láti Nàìjíríà ni àti èyí táwọn sísá gbogbo tọrọ fún Ọlọ́run kó gbà. Ọlá Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azabannar. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa zurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana salamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad al-fatih lima ughliqa wal hatim lima sabaqa nasr al-haqq bil haqqi wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi qadri wa miqdari al-azim. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amen.
Amen. Shukran. Jazakumullah khairan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, everyone.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Allahu Akram.
Can you make burgers?
To break your fast. Maybe, inshallah. We'll see what to do.
I think that's all for the program.
Moriba Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà bàbá wa kọ́lọ́wọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ni re Gúnjọ́bí Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà bàbá Gani àgbà Haruna Ìṣọ̀lá mojúbà bàbá wa àgbà Babátúndé Ọlátúnjí Odòláyé Àrẹ̀mú Moriba bàbá wa Rashida Àkànjí Moriba bàbá wa kì í jẹ́ kó mọ̀ wá wù bèèyàn ti fẹ́ mọ̀. Mo ti fẹ́ mọ̀ bí a bá ti fẹ́ mọ̀. Yóò máa ṣọ́ wa wò èèyàn ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀. Aṣáájú ayé ànábì oníṣẹ́ ńlá àlékún ìkẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó máa bá ọmọ Àmínátù wàhíná kàlà àlà olùkìní Azim lọ́lọ́run fi ròyìn mú ọmọ mi Adéwálé ànábì láfiwá pé ní sẹ́sìn àfiwá lọ ayé ẹni tó jèrè ọkàn ọ̀pọ̀ adẹ́bọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìwà èéfín wà ní kò ṣe bò ẹja ṣọ́ra ṣe àwọn tó dì tán bú àtàwọn tó dì tán re ìwà ní ìwà tán wù sílẹ̀ òun ló ń dájọ́ ìwà tábàfò níwù látọ́ka ọ̀làwà ẹ̀yà jẹ́ kí a ṣọ́ra ṣe gbogbo mùtúmùwà kì í jẹ́ kó mọ̀ wá wù bó bá ti fẹ́ mọ̀.